गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्यतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। बोलो सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। This is a very famous chant which is chanted at the Aarti time. What does it say? We must have heard it many times. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Neither does the sun shine there, na chandra tarakam, nor the moon shines there. Tam na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto, nor does the lightning shine there. Bhanti kuto yam agni, and what to talk about the fire? Then tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Everything shines after his light, after him. If we take the Lord, after him, who alone shines, means everyone is getting a borrowed power from that infinite one. Tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati, and by his light alone all this shines, all the various bodies that you see, not only these five, Surya, Chandra, Vidyuta and Agni, sun, moon, lightning and fire. These are the four sources of light that we see. There is one more, that is the stars, fifth one. But there is one. Who knows? Now let's contemplate on this. Moon is because of the sun. The fire is dependent on the sun. The lightning is dependent. It's not dependent on the sun, but yeah, indirectly it is, because clouds will not come if the sun is not there. But all these 4 or 5 sources of light, na tatra, the Surya, Chandra, lightning and the fire, who knows all this? Sun is seen, moon is seen, lightning is seen, fire is seen, and the stars are also seen. Who sees it? Now don't say I see it. Always come to the general principle. Who sees it? The eyes see it. So who is more powerful? Are these 5 sources of light more powerful, or your eye, which is illuminating them, that is more powerful? Who knows there is an eye? What is that because of which the eye is able to be perceived? The mind. So mind is more powerful than the eye meaning the 5 senses now. It is more powerful. It is illuminating the 5 senses. Who is illuminating the mind? Meaning, mind meaning thoughts. Who is illuminating the thoughts? In whose light are we able to perceive the thoughts? Or even just who knows the thoughts? Just like eyes know the five, mind knows the five senses. Who knows the thoughts? The I, the intellectual sheath. The I thought appears in the intellect. Then what happens in the mind? In the mind, all other thoughts are there. Who knows? Who is illuminating the I thought? When all other thoughts have silenced, who is knowing the I thought? The consciousness, the life principle. And whose reflection is that life principle? That is the one. That is the one. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That is the one by whose light all this shines. It illuminates all this. We went from gross to the senses, from the senses to the mind, from mind to the intellect, intellect to the consciousness, and even consciousness is a reflection of the infinite or pure consciousness, which is none other than the self, and it is not one per person, it is one. And therefore, don't live as a slave to this world. Oh, this world was before I came. No, it didn't. It came when you came. You illuminated it. No, but my parents were there before. All that is okay. That language is okay when we are talking about the body. But if you accept yourself to be the spirit, if you accept yourself to be the conscious principle, then a little bit more contemplation is necessary. That did the parents create the consciousness? Did the consciousness die after the childhood died? Did the consciousness die after the teenage died? Did the consciousness die after the youth died? Every moment the time is changing, the body is changing, everything is illumined by the light of this pure consciousness, the self. So is there anything that can illuminate this conscious principle, the source of light? Is there anything in this creation? The scriptures say, na chakshur gacchati, na vak gacchati, na manaha, na vidmaha, na vijanimaha. It cannot be known, it cannot be illuminated, because it is you. You are the ultimate illuminator, not as the body, because body is also an object of perception of the eyes. So contemplate in this manner. Contemplate in this manner. And when this light becomes available at the sensory level, when this light becomes available at the sensory level, meaning when the senses, instead of searching for forms, instead of searching for perception outside, they become introvert, then automatically the senses are under control. When the mind, instead of leaking through the senses, is thinking, who is illuminating me? What is my source? Then mind becomes introverted. See? And when the intellect, which is only moving in waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, instead of living a cyclical way, when it starts contemplating, thinking, pondering over its source, then alone, in Hindi it is called chaska. Chaska means uh, there is a click inside. It gets, it falls in love with the source and wants to know it, wants to merge with it, wants to become one, be one with it. And when that happens, then is uh, then your sadhana is going in the right direction. But for that, we need to contemplate on the light of all lights. So, keeping your back, neck, and head in a straight line, eyes closed or open, doesn't matter. Uh, finger, hands on your lap, a happy disposition, no thoughts of past or future, come into the utter present. And take the journey. The eyes are illuminating the five sources of light in the outside world or in the subtle world. Mind is illuminating the five senses and the body. The eye knows. Knowing is illumination. The eye knows or illuminates the thoughts in the mind. And the I thought also comes and goes. It is not permanent. That is also illumined by some light. That's why you know it. That's why you know that the I thought is coming and going. That is the source of all lights. There cannot be two lights. Truth is one without a second. At the cross level, yes, sun and moon, two lights are there. At the Daivik level, yes, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are there. Different gods are there. But that one reality, that one illuminator, that one source of light alone is expressing and illuminating all that there is. And this prayer is there to bring us to cognize that in essence I am that. That is my true nature. I am not subservient to the intellect, mind, senses, and the world. I am not dependent on them. They are dependent on me. Thinking in this manner, contemplating in this manner, all the integration comes about. Whenever we look out for a source of light, we are enslaved, we are dependent. When we recognize we are the source of light in essence, in whose light everything shines, then we are complete. Then we are free. Then we are fulfilled.